Hey guys, how's it going? It's Janie over here at JaniesSweets. Welcome back to my channel. In this episode, I'm going to show you how I made my daughter's first birthday dessert table. I absolutely love how it turned out. It was a tea party inspired birthday party and I had so much fun creating everything. Keep in mind this is going to be a two-part video. In this video, I'm going to show you how I made all the sweets, and in next week's video, I'm going to show you how I made the cake. So keep on watching if you want to learn how I did this. So I'm starting out by using pre-colored wafers, candy melt, whatever you want to call them, putting them in a heat-proof bowl, or in this case I'm using a mug, and I'm also going to mix them with white because I don't want them to be super bright. I want them to be more of a pastel color, and then pop it in the microwave until it melts. And through the magic of editing, bam! There you go. You have all these beautiful pastel colors. I am going to start with some Rice Krispie treats, and I'm going to cut them in half, put a little lollipop or candy pop, whatever you want to call it, skewer in the middle so that it stands and somebody has something to grab onto, and then dip them into the chocolate. So I do have to say that I didn't cut out much from this video. This was a 3.5 hour long footage that I compressed into an 11-minute video. So if any of this kind of sounds boring or redundant to you, you can just kind of skip along because I've just sped it up really fast to hopefully not bore you guys to death, because I wanted you to see everything I'm doing. So right now you see me dipping my Rice Krispie treats, and the way that I like to do that is just by dunking them straight ahead and then shaking off any excess. You can also remove any excess by wiping it on the side of your container. It won't really show, only because the Rice Krispie treat is already textured to begin with, so no one will know. I'm doing the same exact thing with some Madeline cookies. Madeline cookies are one of my all-time favorite things to eat. Honestly, you guys, I bought 2 boxes to dip for this party, and I ended up only dipping one because one of the boxes was gone. So just do the same thing, grab it by the end, and then dunk it in. Oh, I'm obsessed with this Oreo cookie candy tray. You guys, I found this, I'm talking about at the beginning of my baking career. Like, I'm talking 7-8 years ago, 10 years ago maybe. It was a Wilton brand. They don't make them anymore, unfortunately, but I love the final result. So what I'm doing is dumping all of my colors into individual Ziploc bags, and then I'm going to kind of squeeze it into the cavities of the mold. You can also use a spoon if you prefer to do that, but I went ahead and put it in the bag because I had more control that way. So just grab a knife and then smooth out the back, and then go ahead with your second and third color. I only wish that I had bought more of this mold because I ended up having to freeze them, you know, wait for them to get hard and then take them out and then start over again. It was kind of a pain to do the Oreos. But anyway, the final result, you guys, is a spectacular. It's so pretty. It looks great. It looks like you spent so much time doing it, but it took you honestly like a couple of seconds. So just keep going until you have enough Oreos. And this is my daughter bugging me. She's always attached to my leg anytime I'm doing anything. It's cute, but yeah. Anyway, so let's keep going with the Oreos until we have every single one that we want. While waiting for the Oreos to set, what I did is I put some white candy melt into a Ziploc bag. I cut up a little bit of the top or the end of it, and then I'm just squeezing some zigzag lines all over the madeleines because I'm going to sprinkle on some dragées or pearls, edible pearls, whatever you want to call them, just to give it a little bit more interest and oomph. I'm doing the same thing to my Rice Krispie Pops. However, I'm not going to put the dragées on them. I'm just gonna leave them with the swirls of white chocolate. Excuse the change of lighting. I am working at night at this point. That's why the lighting is so different. I had baked 24 vanilla cupcakes, and I'm going to use a 1M Wilton tip with some of my Easy Meringue buttercream, and I'm going to just swirl some at the top. However you want to decorate your cupcake is up to you. And then I am using some sanding sugar. This is again by the brand Wilton. I found it at my local Michael's, I think, or was it Joann's craft store? I don't remember. But I have all the colors, the pink, the purple, the yellow, and the blue. Now moving on to the cakes. Now you may be asking yourself, oh my gosh, you had so many people at this party because there's like 50,000 cakes going on here. However, the little cakes are the only cakes that were real. I baked 4 6-inch vanilla cakes to be eaten because the middle cake is actually fake. It's styrofoam. I decorated it to look like a real cake. I wasn't gonna have that many people. However, I still wanted a dramatic look, you know, so that was a great way to do it. I baked it a couple of months ago and just saved it for this specific occasion. So for the vanilla cakes, it's just, 6 inches, 3 layers each. I put just regular buttercream in the middle. I really didn't have time to do anything different or anything crazy or out there. So I figured everybody likes vanilla, let me just make it vanilla. So yeah, I'm going to crumb coat it. I don't want to add any thick icing on it. I just want the crumb coat to be the final coating because I kind of wanted it to look a little bit more rustic and a little bit more tea party-esque, if that's a word. Go ahead and do the same thing to all 4 of your cakes. Pop it in the fridge. Whenever I put a cake in the fridge, I always like to give it a nice little barrier with saran wrap. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I like to do it as a precaution. Now take it out of the fridge and drizzle it on top with some water ganache. Water ganache is super easy to make. Sugar Geek Show, Liz Merrick from Sugar Geek Show actually has a really good recipe. If you just Google water ganache, it'll come up, and I'm just using my leftover candy melt so that I have a cohesive look with everything. So just put it in your piping bag, or you can use a spoon, whatever you want, and just drizzle it right on top. Once that is done, what you did not see me do is I actually sanded the top with the sanding sugar that corresponds to the correct color. Y'all know what I'm trying to say here. And then I'm just going to decorate it with some macarons. Now I got just store-bought macarons because I did not have time to make any. I could have if I really wanted to, but girl, I was busy with everything else for the party. So just place your macarons however you want to put it. I mean, it's a drip cake. It's supposed to look messy and organic anyway, so however you place your macarons will look nice and perfect and intentional. So once all of it was done, you guys, it took me forever. I was done with all the desserts at 3 in the morning. It was a nightmare. But anyway, I honestly think that it was so worth it because the end result was extraordinary. So all you see me doing here, this is the day of the party. My friend Francesca came over, her husband and her daughter, and they were helping me put together, you know, all the decorations. The guys were doing other things and her and I were doing the dessert table. I put together this backdrop that I found on Amazon. You guys, like, it was amazing. The color scheme, all of it. I will link it down for you guys below because I absolutely loved it. So I'm just using some white and diamond, you would say, stands, like dessert stands, and I'm putting all of the desserts on there. Now I bought some sugar cookies, and what else was store-bought? I think the cookies and the macarons were store-bought. So everything else was, you saw me just make. So I'm just placing everything where, you know, I think it looks nice. And this is my husband trying to boss everybody around, as he always does. I'm kidding. He really did give us a lot of insight. So there you go, you guys. This is how the final dessert table came out. I really loved it. Like, the colors, just everything about it is just so pretty. I love the fact that we did the 4 extra cakes because it just gave it that wow factor. Oh my gosh, I was in love with this table. So as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so that I know. If you did not, please give it a thumbs down, and also explain why in the comment section below so that I can correct my mistakes in a later video. As I said, the video for the cake, the actual cake in the middle, will be released next week. And so yeah, until then, you guys, subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss out on any of my future videos. As always, I love you guys. I'll see you next time.